In my mind, there are four elements which are coming together which are going to change the world forever. The first is this whole issue of changing economy and formation of new normal. The US inability to decide on what package they need to do to get the economy up, the Europeans' inability to face the truth and understand that there is a big issue and therefore we see a problem coming out every day, India's inability of taking a decision because they are lost in scandals and corruption, Middle East inability of getting the economy rocking because there are governance models which are changing in that country, Japan struggling with a 200% debt on GDP, and that brings me to China. I had an opportunity of meeting the premier at Dalian a couple of months back, and he said four things which shook me up. He says, my biggest problems are, number one, corruption in my party. Number two, my party's interference in governance. Number three, lack of growth will create social unrest. Number four, China has to move away from lending money to investing money, and the world has to allow it to do it. If you look at leadership in countries are not able to take decisions. The second perfect storm is the emergence of the emerging. Remember, the word globalization was defined as the West moving to East and opening the markets. And suddenly in the Western world, the goods and services of the emerging markets became more valuable than they were ever before. And new renewed confidence came in the mind of these emerging market countries and companies, and therefore they started asserting themselves. The third perfect storm, as if it was not enough, is changing consumer. Their buying patterns are different, their influencing patterns are different, their view on brands is different. 90% of their decisions get made on the digital web, and 90% of the decisions get influenced by word of mouth and not by anything else which we are used to. They are culturally sensitive about how products and services are delivered to them. So more and more consumers are asking different products and services at different price points to be delivered with different experiences. So the existing investment in brands, in brick and mortar, in products and services are being tested as never before. Because newer and newer innovation models are coming, companies are born daily and competitions are emerging daily, and with changing consumer, they are able to attract that consumer, and with that consumer build a completely new company which, we didn't want to give them space to create. So that's a third perfect storm which is getting created. The fourth is the changing employee. In the end, we really thought that if we have all the problems, the employee is the person who is going to solve all the problem. So even if you have an idea which you want to implement, you need people to implement, and either they are people in the wrong structure or the wrong people, or they are completely disengaged for you to execute it. And therefore, when you put all these four elements together, I have a sense that we are in a situation as never before, and there's a perfect storm. I believe if you look at the history, there are three elements which are very interesting in making successful transformations. The first is creating dissatisfaction with ourselves of today. Unless there is a significant amount of dissatisfaction, how do you expect the company to even start thinking about change? Forget about answering the perfect storm question. The second is to create a vision of tomorrow which is so compelling that people will jump out of their bed and want to go and work for you, want to work for that vision, want to go and do it for you. What is that vision? And in that vision, what is in it for them? Do you have that? So if you have the dissatisfaction and you have the vision for tomorrow, then you can connect the two with small experiments, not big changes.